One of the recent travesties of pop culture, Alien Earth, starts with this info dump. This is going to be a bit nitpicky, but I feel that's thematically appropriate, since a nit is literally a parasite egg. But anyway, the flavor text tells us that in the future the race for immortality will come in three guises: cyborgs, synths, and hybrids. Which technology prevails will determine what corporation rules the universe. Shouldn't that also be which? Well, that's not true. The race doesn't come in the guise of cyborgs and so on. You could say that the struggle for domination between corporations takes the form of a race for immortality. Cyborgs and so on are the means by which they try to win the race. Let's examine that for a bit. Synthetics with human consciousness make sense. They're human minds with functionally immortal bodies, especially if they make regular backups. But I find this sentence a bit clunky. Beings downloaded with human consciousness? That's borderline nonsense. Surely what hybrids really are is human minds uploaded into synthetic bodies. And really, introducing a concept of hybrids that has nothing to do with the alien combining its DNA with its hosts is a baffling decision. Greg Egan calls robots piloted by uploaded human minds Gleisners, after a fictional Gleisner corporation. I suppose we can't call them prodigies, that would be confusing. So, Cavaliers? Not a great name, but it would make sense for an immature, ego-driven genius to name the next stage of human evolution after himself. As for synths, they could be functionally immortal just like the hybrids, but at that point it's not a race for immortality, it's more of a race to create the successor of humanity. And it's not really a race because these things aren't mutually exclusive. There's no reason why, after we create robots imbued with intelligence and agency, we wouldn't want immortal robot bodies for ourselves, to live alongside our android descendants as equals. I'm not entirely sure how cyborgs relate to immortality. There is a bit of a trope in corny science fiction that putting your brain in a cyborg body is supposed to make you live forever, but that doesn't really make sense. Your organic brain will still get old. You'd have to separately introduce some kind of medical breakthrough that stops at least the brain from aging. But then cyborgs aren't in the running. The miracle immortality drug is. Oh man, I hope this show doesn't reduce the whole genre of cyberpunk down to man with metal arm. Perhaps research on neural interfaces would lead to artificial brain tissue, kind of like in Ghost in the Shell. But then, to make the narrative compelling, some meaningful distinction would need to be made between cyborgs with cyberized brains and hybrids, a difference in kind, not only in the means of their creation. A setting like this gives the writers an opportunity to explore philosophical questions on the nature of humanity and personhood, and I hope the show will treat these topics with the insight and respect they deserve. Well, actually, I wish an installment of the Alien franchise was more about the alien and didn't entangle itself in these topics just because AI happens to be the most marketable buzzword at the moment. But here we are. And lastly, what's this about ruling the universe? Seems a bit hyperbolic. Humans have scarcely explored the Milky Way in this setting, but I guess it's fair to presume that mastering the secret of immortality would grant someone significant power and influence over the future of our species and so on. I'm not saying, look at me, I could do a better job than the writers. I'm saying most people could if they actually put some effort in and thought about it for a few hours, which is concerning because this is the first thing we, the audience, see. Especially considering all of this is pointless. We could very easily be shown this information instead of told, and it wouldn't be confusing. What would be useful to convey with an opening text like this would be historical context. Things difficult to convincingly present diegetically in dialogue because every character already knows them. It would be very silly to have protracted scenes where the heroes repeat common knowledge to each other. So very silly. Okay, I'm going to watch the show now. Oh boy, I hope it's good.